You're listening to the Simplify Business with Brinie Podcast. I help simplify business and marketing for time-poor busy women who run passion-fueled businesses. Listen in each week as I share bite-sized business tips designed to not only empower you, but to help make your business life simpler. Let's get into it. So this week I'm going to dive into a topic that's actually really close to my heart, and that is the role of authenticity in business success. And the reason this is important is because as a mum and a business owner, I've found that the greatest leaps and bounds came from within my business when I started being really real, when I started really embracing who Brinie really is and showing her up a lot more, and when I started sharing my genuine experiences. Because what it did was it helped me connect with my audience on a much deeper level than I had ever been able to do previously, okay? And I want to just talk today about how you can start to really inject authenticity into your own business and see how that works for you, particularly in your marketing as well. All right, so what does it mean to be authentic in business? You know, we're always showing up, we're always being real, yes. But it's about being true to who you are and sharing your real self with your audience, not just the polished, perfect version. Because those people out there that are polished and perfect, I mean, this might just be me, but I cannot relate to them at all in any way. Actually, in any way. I am not a polished, perfect person. And so when people show up like that, I either think that they're not being genuine and so I don't trust them, or I think that the way they live is not a way I'm able to live. And again, that connection is not there. That's not someone who I can learn from or connect with. So the reason it's really important to be authentic, and I am going to share some examples, is that authenticity actually builds trust. And trust is the foundation of any successful relationship, including the one you have with your customers. So back when I was running Dragonfly parties, I was doing all the corporate things that I'd learned from my corporate experience, you know, with marketing, looking at the numbers, and everything was really beautiful. But I was actually also a mum running this business, and sometimes it was really hard to show up in this polished business owner in inverted commas way. And I still remember the time that it had been said to me, you know, maybe you should be showing up more as a mom. And I was like, oh, gross. Like that is not going to go down well. I don't know how to do that. And I called a girlfriend and she was like, well, you know, Janine Ellis has been doing it. The woman who was the creator of Boost. She's been showing up more, you know, and we'd started seeing it about 10 years ago, a lot more. She said, what's it going to hurt? If it's working for her, it's going to work for you. And I still remember the day. Oh man, it was so stressful, but at the same time, it was the easiest thing I'd ever done. I remember just turning on the camera and talking to the camera as Brinie, the woman running the business who also had kids, like as a business owner and a working mum. And that content was so easy to talk to, but it also really resonated with my mums because I attracted a lot of working mums. And so once I saw the response to me showing up authentically, it was so much easier to show up. And not only that, people related to me on a far deeper level. Like even constructive criticism was given to me verbally over phone call because this woman said, you know, I've seen your content, I've followed you. I really think you would want to hear about this. I didn't want to just take this online and kind of stash this out online. And I, you know, that's so powerful when people actually trust you and know that you would want to know when things aren't going the way you had thought they were going. Anyway, I digress. The key message I want to share here is that me showing up and being authentic in that particular business made me relatable and it made me approachable. And I honestly think that was one of the biggest foundations of success I had in that particular business. Even now, some of the best feedback I've had is that women who listen to the podcast or who read the emails or who are have been part of the journey over the past 4 years have really appreciated listening to me start a business and then have to pivot due to things that are going on in my space, and learning that it's okay to pivot and understanding that pivoting needs to happen. In fact, the worst thing I ever did was pivot without explaining why. And that really burned a lot of bridges for some women I was working with. And I completely understand. I just, at that time didn't feel like I could share what was happening behind the scenes. And so I didn't share. And so now I'm always really conscious of explaining that this is shifting and this is why. And I've found that a lot of people tend to relate more to that, particularly if it's coming from not a whinging point of view, but a practical point of view. So for example, right now, removing all the live elements from my programs, that was a really hard thing to do. Well, it turns out that that's not a problem people have, because they're also mums. They don't necessarily need live things. Me just sharing that that's not a way I can show up anymore has not actually been a big problem at all, even though it, had me having sleepless nights for such a long time. I didn't want to let anybody down. So I have found that, sharing that much and injecting this, talking about being a working mum into this space has helped me connect with so many more of you. So the benefits of being authentic can really set you apart in a crowded market. Okay, it builds trust. It creates a strong connection with your audience, and people do business with those they know, like, and trust. And authenticity makes you likable and trustworthy. But, and I just need to be really clear here, okay? Being authentic does not mean you have to share every detail of your life. Okay, I do not share my kids on social media. I don't share a lot that's going on behind the scenes here. It's about balance, okay? So you need to share enough to be real, but you've got to keep certain things private. So I want to leave you with this today. I want to encourage all of you to reflect on how you can bring more authenticity into your business. So for those who just have no idea how to get started, you simply start by sharing your journey, your story, okay? How you got to be where you are right now. What makes you the expert? What you've learned along the way. Share your challenges. Share your victories. Remember, your audience wants to connect with the real you. Okay? If that's one thing I've learned, and I really struggle to think that was even possible, but they absolutely want to connect with the real you. All right, I hope that helps. Wishing you the best of luck for those who are still in school holidays. Thanks for tuning in. Stay inspired and empowered. Until next week, guys. Bye.